It's not looking good, bruv. Okay, we're back. You missed me last week. Yeah, back to normal, back to reality, kinda. Took a weekend really to get back to full brain power. Okay, so this week we have an NPC hiding in the corner. He might talk, he might not talk. But let him settle in, He's shy. He's not as shy as Ronaldo though. Man, I'm shy. So, I was here on Sunday, and while I was gone, we had and I wish I left it alone. You had it set out lovely. We had a trailer full of stuff. We had stuff here, but now it's on the car, so we'll go through that in a second. So, this is some of the stuff that you picked up last week. I really hope, do you know, if anyone was to sponsor me, I'd pray it's Valvoline. Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah. EBC yellow stuff pads for the back of the 14. Now, look, I'd put them in the back. I wouldn't put them in the front. They're good for hydros. When you start getting into a bigger tire size. I've done a lot of track racing and I've seen a lot of now maybe in more recent years they're better. I've seen a lot of these fall apart. We used to call them, so you have EBC green stuff, red stuff, yellow stuff. We used to call them EBC shite stuff. Exhaust rubbers. These, you're going to see the importance of these in the next coming weeks. That's a knock sensor for a 1J or a 2J. Probably a lot of Toyotas would use the same one. A 4EF TE, 4AGE, 20 valve, 3SGE, 1JZ, GTE. You'll see the importance of these in the next while. I'll explain what they do. On to the next thing. The way he blurred out the BC coilover was actually hilarious. With the little blob just kept moving around, and then he blew the top mount, and that was it. That was brilliant. Really, really well done. Well done. Flows AC delete bracket, very important on a 1J because the power steering pump, which is here, has one mount on the top, and then the bottom of it is meant to be mounted to the AC compressor. When you remove the AC compressor, you remove half the mounts for the power steering pump. While it looks okay because it's sitting there and it's bolted on, what can happen is they start bending when the engine is running and start throwing belts off. Drift 2 Motorsport, you know, they really looked after us, I've been told. Like these guys, if you need anything, I'm not even going to ask. You know what? Don't blur anything out. Drift 2 Motorsport. Put it down below.
Oh, they gave us
Drift 2 Motorsport.
Didn't even know
stickers. They might make an appearance on the car when it's done. If you need anything for your Japanese car, kits, side skirt extensions, lights, what else do they do? Fucking AN fittings. The list goes on and on. They're actually quite hard to find. It's just rubbish. Oils, additives, fucking whatever, just, yeah, Valvoline, again, Valvoline, like, LEDs for the front of the car, all that unimportant stuff, but adds up really quick. While you were all sleeping, sitting on your couches doing nothing, I was here working. What were you doing Sunday?
What was I doing Sunday?
Yeah, what were you doing Sunday?
I was washing my car and I was wearing my headlights.
You were, yeah.
Polished them, so
What'd you do after that?
got food,
And then what'd you do?
went to bed.
Yeah, exactly, see? Sleeping, like the rest of you. Because the S14, big push on. Starting over this side, we have, what's the brand of them? Super Pharma. Nice. This is my first time using these because I would normally blank off this and weld 2 AN fittings on to the rocker covers like it's done on my E36. And the E46 runs the standard breather. It's just a hose coming off here and around. And the problem with just running a rubber hose here on the standard fitting that's there is your turbo is right here and it gets very hot, and if this melts it will cause a fire because you're getting oil vapors coming out of the top of the engine. This one as well normally recirculates into the intake manifold, so I've put 2 of these Dash 10 AN fittings into the rocker cover to run a braided hose down, to put a catch can down there. They're really nice. I don't know if I'm 100% sold on the way they look. I think when the pipes are, what do you think, MPC? What are we calling him? He needs a nickname. Okay, so Adam, I'm just gonna call him Adam. Adam, why are you here? Spurious LZ. Why are you here? Do you want to give an opinion on what's happening here?
Oh, you were saying if you didn't like something, I'll fuck off, so.
No, stay. What do you think of the AN fittings on the rocker covers? I think with the pipes on, it might look better.
Look better. I think they should be purple to match the other purples.
It's the colour that's throwing me off, isn't it? Yeah.
It's because you have purple everywhere and then it's black.
Yeah, I know. If all the AN fittings were black, then that wouldn't stand out as much. So, remove this, bolts onto the side of the engine block, and then we go down to this, which is a sandwich plate. You get an adapter that goes into the engine block. And it basically means then, instead of having this big fucking dog's dick of a yoke on the side of your engine, which also makes it very hard to get the engine mount, you've now converted to this, and you have an oil filter, which threads on, don't cross thread. Oh, there. It's tight. I don't know why I'm in such a panic. I have the, panicking, release me chub. I don't know why we're in a panic. I don't know. It's just like I'm in a rush to go somewhere. Am I? Maybe.
What we have done so far. I'm confused. Oh, I go by a lot of names.
I can't remember what you've done. That doesn't look good in the video.
I know what I've done.
Act like you know what you're doing.
What's that?
Who's holding the mic?
That's a red sporty pipe.
Yeah, he's good.
My name is Ryan, but they call me Spurious LZ. So pull these out.
Hold on now, what did you pull out?
These little flappings.
Ah.
Clean them down. They're still a little dirty, but I cleaned off all the carbon build-up on them.
Okay.
And then we cleaned out all... Mark is fucking bullying me. I'm getting a flashlight, one sec. Clean down them. Put that back before I lose it or break it. She was leaking all down here. So we put on new one dim, sealed it, tightened it, let it dry.
What's one dim?
One dim. Mark, what's one dim?
Breather box.
Breather box, in case you didn't hear that. And now I'm getting the new manifold ready. So,
Exhaust manifold.
intake manifold.
There you go.
Ah, yeah. Trying my best. So, can we start again, please? So, swapping over everything from the old manifold, because this one's all caked up and stuck and the flaps are not moving properly on the intake manifold. So I am halfway through swapping over the seals on the injectors. They're not fun to do. The next clip going to be is putting the intake manifold onto the engine.
Okay.
Hopefully.
It's heavier than I thought. I'm sure Ryan's update was really exciting. Wasn't it, Ryan? Yes. Oh my God, there's a TikTok. Have you seen it? This lad has this account. I'll show you later. I'll show you later. He'll be talking, he goes, unbelievable. Never seen nothing like it. You just seen, he has the sunglasses on. Have you seen them?
I know, I'll play this pipe like a fiddle.
There you go. That's the update, people. That's what's actually, no, there's more. I lied. So the rad is in. Obviously the fucking oil cooler and all that shite's done. But when we put this rad in originally, the fans were hitting the water pump pulley. So it's going to be hard to tell now because it's no longer hitting the water pump pulley. But it was back about an inch further than this. Whoever made this, I don't know why, but instead of having the fan shroud sitting up against the actual core of the radiator, it was out about here. So we've had to cut the brackets off and then re-weld them back onto the fan shroud again.
First time working on cars.
My pockets.
Oh, and the Volkswagen.
It's his first time working on a car.
Yeah.
What? Welcome back. Say welcome back, Ryan.
Hello.
Ryan's not very talkative right now. Ryan's having a bad day. Ryan always has a bad day. Whereas me, I'm a more positive kind of person. That's Ryan's fault. He needs to be more positive. Not right, Ryan? Positivity. Now, back to more important stuff. AN lines and braided hose. Where do we start? This is dash 10, and that is a rubber core. David's gone home, by the way. That's why I'm on the camera. This is going to be horrendous. It's a rubber dash 10 braided hose. This is what I've been raving on about, which is PTFE. So I'm going to show you the differences between them and what makes this better than that. So we'll start off with the hose themselves. I'm back. We'll start off with the hoses themselves. In AN braided hose for a fuel system, you obviously need different size fuel hose to be able to supply different power levels. Dash 6 in AN rubber will be your standard-ish kind of a fuel hose size that'll supply up to, let's just say 600 horsepower, roughly. After that, then you'll run into restrictions. Now, the PTFE hose I've gone for is Dash 6, and I am planning on having more than 600 horsepower. But the nice thing about PTFE is, and I'll show you if you can see, this is obviously the first advantage. So this is AN Dash 4, this is for my wastegate lines. So you can see there, you can see the thickness of the rubber and the actual hole in the middle of the pipe. And now we have, now I know Dash 6 is going to be bigger anyways, but you can see the thickness of the actual core of the hose. So Dash 6 PTFE is the same as Dash 8 in a rubber hose, which means that you can run a Dash 6 line PTFE and support the same power as a Dash 8, which, you know, 700-800 horsepower. So that's one advantage. And then the other advantage is that this is ethanol safe, methanol safe. There's nothing will ever happen to PTFE hose. It's lifetime. Is it more expensive? Yes. Are the fittings more expensive? Yes. And I'll show you why they are more expensive now. This Dash 10 rubber, and I'll turn this around and I'll show you the different, wait, oh no, it's on zoom. I should really check these things. There we go, we're back. Focus, I don't know, doesn't matter. Right, that is a normal rubber hose AN fitting. So you have this piece and you have this piece. It's quite straightforward. You slide the hose up into this until it hits a little ridge inside there, and then a little bit of lube on this and you thread it into it like so, and that captures the hose. Pretty straightforward. When it comes to a PTFE line, there's a bit more involved. So you have the, I don't know what you would call these, little nut. You have this, which slides on first, and then you have an olive, which actually goes into the end of the hose, and it goes in between the braid and the actual PTFE liner. And then this, which is the other piece, slides down into it and the nut tightens on. Now, if I can do this, this fitting is definitely safer and it's more secure because it's actually crimping this on to the hose, and then you're crushing the braided sleeve between this and the nut. Now, would you do the entire car in PTFE? No, there's no real need for it because it's probably twice the price. But for the likes of the fuel system and the oiling system, stuff like that where you don't want the rubber to break down, it's definitely the best option. And this hose, in case you're wondering, is for, Ryan, is your day going any better since we yeah, see, he's happy again. Yay, we like a happy Ryan. This is for, I am running a standard fuel rail with the 440cc injectors because I just don't have the intention of going a top feed rail just yet. Number one, I don't like JZs with top feed rails because they have a habit of leaking sometimes. So I'm going to see, I might go for a set of the 800cc HKS side feed ones. If I can get them, we're going to start off on the 440s. They're obviously not going to support the power the engine is built for, but they will be okay just to get it started and running, get everything bedded in. Like these 440cc injectors will do 500 horsepower safely. On normal pump fuel, obviously if you were running ethanol, they'd probably only do about 370 or 80. But you can turn the fuel pressure up. We're probably going to run a base fuel pressure of 4 bar. So they will have enough in them for about 500 horsepower. That'll be like a good starting off kind of bedding things in, because we're planning on doing a lot more than that. So standard rail, 440cc injectors, And then in the end of the standard rail, I put in that AN fitting little adapter, and back there I have the AN fitting on the end of the rail. And then this one is to go, it's going this way. So that's going to feed the fuel from where the original fuel pressure regulator was, off here, and it's going to feed the fuel across inside the rail and onto the fuel pressure regulator, which then mounts down here, and another AN fitting, the one that I showed you on the bench, comes up through the intake manifold down in there. So, right, I've done enough waffling, time to get back to work. And I will show you once I have the fuel pressure regulator and all those lines in. Welcome back to the final of today's installments. So, as you can see, Adam LZ has gone home for the night, sleeping, you know. I'm still here, we're nearly done up, so I'm gonna give you one last quick update, one last quick clip, and we'll be getting back to it tomorrow. So, S14, that is going to be the theme of the next couple of days for me, but you're going to see a lot happening in the this week's video, because we're going to have Adam LZ working on other stuff, I'm working on the S14. We are in a bit of a rush, and I'm going to run through with you something. Actually, come over here and I'll show you this first. I'll run through something that has been an issue for a lot of people, and not everybody gets to the bottom of it. So we're talking about power steering. Right, I should probably get a torch, but do you know what? I actually couldn't care less. Right, this power steering. We're nearly there with the power steering system, and I'll show you what we have done. But I wanted to wait until I finished it off, because I'm going to show you the inside of something now in a second. So we have power steering pump, we have the line that runs out of the pump and it goes up into the power steering reservoir. Now you haven't seen this. Power steering reservoir is literally there. So like as a reference for the front of the car, that's it. I'm trying to tuck and hide as much as I can. We have it mounted on there on the front panel, so you can see now that there's no radiator. We have two lines going onto the reservoir, one goes to the pump and one is the return from the rack. Now, on the pump then, you have this high pressure line which goes onto the pump down there. And depending on what you take the pump out of, that pump that's in the car now has come from a 2J, and some of the pumps come with this. And this is actually quite important, because if you listen carefully, if you're ever doing this swap, this could help you out with some issues with your steering that a lot of people have. This piece, so you can see here, it is an electronic solenoid. So I'll explain, let me flip the camera around here and I'll run through the pieces that are in that. Right, so here we have, that's the banjo bolt that holds the pipe onto this. So this is the bigger banjo, right? So first you have this piece here. Your pipe goes on there, and that little solenoid goes through this hole and threads into the power steering pump. That's the first piece. You have this piece, which goes in here, clamps that banjo onto the pump. Now, this had a wire coming out of the back of it. I have chopped that off, and I'll explain what that wire does in a minute. Then you have that, and then you have a couple of pieces internally inside it. You have those pieces as well. That solenoid is for varying the assistance of the power steering pump. So in a lot of the 2J GE cars, they're more modern and they kind of run a CAN system. They run that kind of an IS200 style ECU. So they have an ABS signal that is sent to the ECU. The ECU outputs a speed signal, and the speed signal is then, depending on the speed signal, then it decides on how much assistance you need with your steering. There's an electrical connector on the pump. Now, this car over here is not going to control that power steering pump. I could, with the Linky SKU, I probably could, if I put in ABS sensors. I'm not gonna have ABS sensors, I'm not gonna have traction control. So, the problem with having this is, this is a long clip, but I apologize, but it is worth watching because it will save you. The problem with this is, if you don't control it, what happens is you get really weird power steering. So the steering gets really heavy, really light, jumpy, very little assistance, feels like your pump is fricked. So what this does is it just restricts the fluid that's allowed to come out of the power steering pump. What we do with them is, because we kind of have to keep the body of it, because it's the only way of putting this on, unless we got like a massive banjo bolt, but it's not worth the effort really. And this actually slides up inside the pump. There's a couple of bits to it. So let me show you how it works. So I'll give you like an exploded diagram of what way it is. So if you can imagine, now let me turn the camera around. David, edit this into something shorter and more fucking interesting, but you get me. Right. That's the way it looks. So this is the first piece that goes inside the pump, in the solenoid. Then that piece threads in over it, and then this piece goes up inside the pump. So what we need to do is we need to remove this out of here, unthread that out of the solenoid. Then we take this piece out. So this is the little, this is the little check valve that the solenoid pushes in and out, and it opens and closes the ports in this. So you remove this completely, and then you thread this back in here, and then you put that back up in the pump, thread that back in, and you no longer have power steering issues. That is very valuable information, because that's an issue that a lot of people run into, and it's just replacing pumps, putting racks in, changing lines, causes a lot of people a lot of hassle. To this day, I still see people posting on Facebook about this exact issue. See you all in the next clip.
Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday. Where did we leave off? I had the manifold off. So now we have the new breather box gone on, new intake manifold on, cleaned out, all is good, started there, idling fine. Light on the dash that was here when it came in. We're going to have a look and see what it is, see what's up.
What else you do?
With front pads gone onto it. That's really it that we've done so far.
What's your mission now, so?
My mission is to find out what the engine light is when launch decides to stop being a 9 and work for me. We'll go from there.
Alright, we're back. I have my new microphone set up. Do you like it? We're trying out a couple of different versions this week. So, as you can see behind me, there is a Golf GTI shaped gap right there. And that's because the Golf GTI is currently being test driven. And we're going to take it on like a 45-minute drive, make sure everything's okay, make sure Ryan did a good job. We know he did. Don't we, Ryan? Yeah. See, there you go, that's absolute confidence in his work. So what we're currently doing, I said I'd give you a little quick update, is we're back on the Altezza. We're getting it ready for the bay to start going back together. So the next step with this is to remove, geez, the light, I get what David means. Stand this way now. Oh, you can see me. See what I mean? So, can you see me now? Yeah, I can. So, the next step of the Altezza is to get the engine bay stripped down and take out absolutely everything that's not needed. Any of the wiring or any of the pipes or anything like that. And then, what we do is, because we're not spraying the engine bay in this one, I have made Ryan get a rag and some T-cut, and he's ASMR. So we're going to just polish up the engine bay and get all the white back to nice and shiny. She's been sitting up a while, so that it looks decent. So mini update on the S14. While Ryan has been polishing the, I'm pointing at it with the camera, the Altezza, I have been making up a little bracket because we are now at the boost control system, which is the MAC valve. So there's your MAC valve. So I've made up just a a little aluminium bracket, and the Mac valve just bolts with there. There's little countersunk nuts on the back, and then we have shit cameraman. The 2 -4AN fittings, and this, after all my hard work, will mount. You are currently upside down with me. Will mount in here into the. This is the most interesting thing you've seen all day. And then it just mounts in there. Tighten that up, and there's my boost control, nice and neat and tidy. That's it, nice and simple, straightforward, looks easy, took ages. Everybody, Ryan's sad. Ryan is sad.
Oh, fuck off.
So,
I'm not sad.
or sorry, Adam LZ. Adam LZ is sad.
I'm having first world problems.
Why are you sad, Adam?
Because I don't have my magnetic bolts and my bolts.
Adam doesn't have.
Being left to the side, and I'm going to fall, and I'm going to get annoyed.
And then he breaks something, and this is what usually happens. Adam LZ is sad because he doesn't have I can't even say the word. Magnetic bowls. Anyways, back to some real life work. While Ryan is over there crying about magnetic bowls, I have been making up the AN lines for the wastegate. So they're there, -4, and I have strategically placed heat shield in the perfect location. So we've just some heat-proof heat shrink on either end, and if it ever focused on this, just going to focus on it. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Anyways, trust me, it's there, and I have the same done to this one. Now, why didn't I put it on the whole line, or why is it there at all? These run very close to the exhaust manifold. So in order to stop them just getting hot, every little helps when it comes to line management. Now, why didn't I run it the whole way to the end? Because I think it looks ugly. And this bit is going to be visible, and this bit is kind of hidden down around the exhaust manifold. So that's the reason. Other than that, I think that's about it. Ryan, is that about it? That's about it. That's all she wrote.
Bye now. Hello everybody, I am back. So we're back in the Altezza, tidying up the engine bay, moving out wires, pulling out stuff we didn't need, and one of them was boost controller. There was problems with it. Problem was, first of all, the control, try and zoom it in, was cut and put back together so it could be get into the engine bay rather than going through a grommet. And then on the cigarette lighter, earth and power were pulled with these horrible crimps that don't really work. They like to break and fall apart and just are horrible looking. Also, a mistake was made by pulling the power from the handbrake switch, which obviously will not work. And for some reason he made the mistake twice. Very fun. I think personally how I would do it is pull a fuse from the fuse box that's not being used, or pull the ignition from the fuse box. Get your power from there, get a good earth. Probably go from the battery and have it switched and do it right. Not that. That's how fires start. When cars go up in flames and your pride and joy blows up. Bye now.
Welcome back to the vlog, everybody. It's a new day with a new car. The delivery driver may have forgotten to give us the key for this one. This has been here since, when did they drop it off? Friday last week?
Yeah.
And this one is in for a, will we tell them? Will we tell them? We'll keep it a surprise. I'll tell them once we're underneath what we're doing. It's to do with this little sticky thing in the middle here. This could turn into a big job.
Definitely.
Yeah, 100%. So we're going to get it up on the lift, check it over and see what it needs, because he wants to do other bits with it while it's here for the manual conversion. And he wants to do timing belts, make sure everything underneath is good, you know, give her a general check over, translate the Japanese on the dash, bring it for a test drive, do a few flat spins. He wants a big turbo, he wants tracking. She's tarmac spec, WRC. Now, this is the first Subaru Impreza I've ever been in that was automatic. Ryan, you said sham as if you've been in like 20 of them. Everyone I've been in was automatic. I I didn't know they came in manual. Fun fact, Ryan's fun fact of the day. Hopefully that's Ryan's only fun fact of today. I know. That's the fucking problem. What was it, Ryan? Slap something and something something?
Oh, slap the belly right away.
Fact about it. So this one's in for a manual conversion. It's an Impreza. Well. So I was told by David that in the previous clip I wasn't very enthusiastic and I didn't tell you exactly what was going on. It's Wednesday, people. It's the Costa del Ballindine. It's always sunny here. Don't mind the wet in the ground. We're testing out the slab. So, black, automatic Impreza, WRX, and we have a silver Impreza, WRX, manual. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all the bits off this one and use that car to manually convert that one. How much of this one we have to put into that one? We're not 100% sure yet. We're definitely obviously going to need like drivetrain, pedal box, all the cylinders and pipes and things like that. The clocks, we might need the loom, ECU. There's probably going to be a lot of stuff to swap over because we don't want, some manual swaps are done and they're a bit janky, like they still have the auto clocks in them and they're not 100%, and you know, there's like, they do little weird things because they haven't all the bits swapped. So we're going to make this look like a factory manual car. That's the goal. That you can get in, start it, everything works, everything's clipped into place properly. And we're also going to be doing on this black one, time belt kit, water pump, a service, and we're changing the brakes. This has the bigger 4-piston brakes on the front and the 2-piston on the back. So we're going to get new discs and pads, recondition the calipers and put all the brakes onto that one. And yeah, just in case you're wondering why there's now a silver Impreza and 2 black ones. And then the silver Impreza is actually going to be for parts after we've all our stuff taken off it. So if anyone needs anything off it, let us know. We'll get in contact with the owner once we've all our bits taken out of it. Yeah, full interior. It's got a lot of good body panels on it. Obviously like windows and door handles and all that stuff. So it's a good breaker. If anyone needs anything, let us know.
Enough kit as well.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem to be on that one.
Or that one, yeah.
Or that one.
So it's a full car. It has an engine problem. I think the engine is blown. I can't remember, did Rob say the bottom end is gone or the head gaskets are gone? Probably both.
Started down the line whenever we were pushing it in.
We're going to start now. That's why I have them kissing. So today we're going to start, Adam LZ is going to strip this one down because he's here with us for the week, so we may as well get him to do all the shit jobs. He's going to take this one apart, and then once all the bits are off it, we'll run through anything that's damaged, anything that needs to be replaced. Let's say like if there's a seized brake caliper, and get it ready, get everything washed down and cleaned and get it ready to put into this one. So yeah, that's it for this clip. If anyone needs any Subaru bits, biggest Subaru breaker in the West. Welcome back. It's the last day for this week. It's now Thursday, so we'll give you a little morning update and then you'll get an afternoon update. At the moment, we'll start over here. We'll work our way around in a semicircle. Ignore Adam LZ in the middle there. He's a noisy little fucker. Back to the S14. You've seen all the boost control plumbing, you've seen all this stuff, and I think the last thing I will show you on this today is, I have a few little bits. You'll see this evening when it's in, but we have top rad pipe. So that's all cleaned and shined up, and that'll just go on there like so. And then the last thing, I didn't actually show any of this. In the corner, I have made a catch can. So we've just made up a template out of cardboard so we can get the shapes right. And then we're going to cut sheets of aluminium and TIG weld it together. We'll have an AN fitting here, and then we'll have a little breather filter on top, because I was going to buy a pre-made catch can, but I can't see anywhere in the engine bay that I would put the catch can that actually looks decent. If I put it here, it looks like shit. If I put it here, it looks like shit. You can't put it on the engine. Like, there's nowhere to put it. So the only solution that I can come up with is to actually make this and tuck it in here at the side of the engine bay, so it's out of sight and it looks nice. And then it makes it nice and clean. Our AN lines, I have the fitting on here. It'll come around the back and just along here and straight into the catch can. and we've gotten rid of the fitting off this side of the rocker cover. We're going to go back to the OE one, and we're going to run it in here. So we just have one -10 line, nice and clean, looks good. So that is the morning update for the 14. You'll see more at the end of the day. Ryan, shut up, will ya? He's a fucking, just never stops. So in underneath here is a very dark. In under here, we are working on the Subaru. So we've started stripping out the shafts. He has some of the interior bits taken out, and we're getting ready to pull the box. So he's currently at the prop shaft. Looks rusty, a lot of fun. I'm glad he's doing it, not me. The goal with this is by the end of tomorrow, we have the whole silver car stripped, all the parts laid out, and we can run through everything and see what we have and what we don't have and what we need to replace. The Altezza. So a lot of the, and I say a lot, pretty much all of the unnecessary wiring has been removed from the Altezza, and Ryan has done a fantastic job polishing it up. It looks, back to fucking work, you. It looks good, looks really good. He obviously forgot to do this here, but look, we'll let him off. But all the white came out nice, it's all shined up, and then over in the corner we have the fuse box. I know I was saying we were going to move it inside the car, we were going to move it here, there and everywhere, but we've came to the final position of it being here because it makes the most sense. If I don't have to modify the loom, I try not to, because the more you chop into a loom, the more chance you have of wiring issues down the line. So being able to tuck it over here in the corner and then having the power steering fluid reservoir mounted here keeps everything neat and tidy. It's tucked away, it's out of the heat area, and it looks good. So it kind of fills up that little corner of the engine bay, because if that was just left empty, because the battery's obviously in the boot, it would look weird. So tuck them in there, and this is officially booked in for mapping, which means that this is going to be done in the near future, this side of Christmas. It's booked in for mapping in the middle of October, so that's the deadline for this one. So the next step with this car now is fuel system, exhaust manifold. So I think that's the morning update. I have no more to say. Ryan, do you have anything to add to that? Happy Thursday, my dudes. S14 for sale. That's how we're going to finish this video. Well, I was hoping to update you for the last time this week with a bit more, but I'm tired and I put the coil packs into the engine and realised that number one, they look horrible, and number two, they're too tall. Which is normally you wouldn't run a cover and you just leave them exposed, which is fine. The height doesn't really matter, but they just look awful. But not to worry, because I'm picking up a black set of coils Saturday morning. So that's problem resolved with that. And Ryan, well, Ryan's done fuck all.
All eyes on me, live the life of a thug nigga till the day I die.